Imagine Elon Musk stepping into a congressional hearing, with a piercing gaze, and unyielding demeanor, carrying the aura of someone accustomed to confronting the entire world. Before him are two congresswomen, AOC and Jasmine Crockett, ready to probe the depths of a vast tech empire. The questioning quickly surpasses the bounds of a typical hearing. This is no longer a simple exchange between Congress and a billionaire. It's a fiery clash between technological power and political authority, between the vision of an individual aiming to shape humanity's future and those safeguarding the core values of democracy. In the congressional hearing room, the atmosphere is tense, like an invisible blade hanging in the air. The chair's voice is deep and resonant, like a bell signaling the start of a power play. Today, the Oversight Committee will examine Mr. Elon Musk's role in the Dogecoin cryptocurrency, the influence of the X platform, and the ethical questions surrounding projects like Neuralink and Starlink. The goal is to determine, is he acting in the public's interest, or solely in his own? The opening statement rings out like a starting shot, setting the battle lines for the intense confrontation about to unfold between a tech icon and the sharp representatives of a new political power. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez slightly adjusts her glasses, her eyes blazing with fire, ready to interrogate. Beside her, Jasmine Crockett flips through a file, her expression icy, like a hunter locking onto her target. At the witness stand, Elon Musk sits steady, his demeanor calm, as if weathered by countless storms. His gaze doesn't waver, a blend of confidence and defiance. The look of a man who believes he's ahead of his time. The room falls silent. Three gazes, three wills collide in the air. In that charged atmosphere, a battle of intellect and faith in America's future quietly begins. After brief opening remarks from the chair, AOC stands, her voice echoing, each word chosen carefully, like an arrow aimed at its mark. Mr. Musk, your Department of Government Efficiency is promoted as a budget-saving tool. But what's the real cost? Essential programs like Medicaid are being cut, pushing thousands of families into hardship, while Starlink contracts are prioritized. Is this efficiency, or just a way to redirect resources for your own benefit? She presents a report highlighting data on families losing healthcare subsidies due to Doge policies, her voice compelling. After her statement, she sits, her eyes fixed on Musk, awaiting his response. Musk leans toward the microphone, his voice steady but sharp, like a strategist analyzing a battlefield. Doge isn't targeting those who need help. We've saved $150 billion by eliminating fraud and waste. Money that never reached the people you represent. Starlink brings connectivity to millions in remote areas. Not to enrich me, but to serve society. If you want to fix the system, focus on the gaps the government has ignored for decades. He pauses, his gaze sweeping the room, as if inviting agreement. After his statement, he leans back, his expression calm but resolute. Crockett rises, her voice powerful, each word like a hammer striking at Musk's credibility. You talk about savings, but let's talk about accountability. Your hand gesture at President Trump's inauguration sparked major controversy. Was it a signal endorsing dangerous ideologies, or just a careless act? She holds up an enlarged photo capturing Musk's gesture, interpreted by some as an extremist symbol. Her statement feels like an accusation, silencing the room with all eyes on Musk. Musk responds, his voice calm but no less sharp. That gesture was an expression of belief in free speech, carrying no meaning as you suggest. Doge works to clean the system, not destroy it. If you want accountability, ask government agencies to explain why billions were wasted before Doge existed. He concludes, his eyes locked on Crockett, as if challenging her to provide concrete evidence. After his statement, he sits, his confident demeanor earning nods of approval from some in the audience. AOC continues, her voice like a blazing fire, full of passion but no less sharp. Your Doge labeled 1.4 million Medicaid recipients as fraudulent, pushing them out of the system without adequate consultation. Do you, a billionaire who never worries about healthcare, truly understand the consequences of these numbers? She displays a chart illustrating the impact of Doge policies on vulnerable communities. After her statement, she sits, her gaze as if boring into Musk's mind, searching for a crack. Musk responds, his voice firm, each word carefully measured. I understand the value of every tax dollar. Doge doesn't eliminate legitimate aid. We target those exploiting the system, taking resources from those who truly need them. The $150 billion saved is an opportunity to build schools, hospitals, things that actually help people. He pauses, his gaze defiant, prompting some Republican lawmakers to applaud, while Democrats maintain stern expressions. After his statement, he sits, his demeanor unshaken. Crockett doesn't let Musk rest, her voice like a storm. You abandoned Trump the moment his policies no longer suited you. Doge is a tool to build your heroic image, but now you stand here shirking responsibility. What's your real goal? Her question touches on the rift between Musk and Trump, stirring murmurs in the room. After her statement, she sits, her gaze as if trying to unravel Musk's true intentions. Musk responds, his voice low but commanding. My goal is an America that runs efficiently. I don't work for anyone, not even Trump. Doge is an initiative to fix a broken system, and I'm proud of its results. He concludes, his eyes locked on Crockett, sparking cheers from one corner of the room. After his statement, he sits, his demeanor like a warrior, ready for the next battle. Social media erupts. Some posts hail Musk as the government's cleaner, while others back AOC for defending the vulnerable. One viral post claims Musk just silenced the Democrats. Another counters, AOC and Crockett are exposing Musk. The atmosphere grows so heated that Senator Byron Donald speaks out, his voice booming like thunder on national television. Doge saved billions through decentralized payment efficiency. And we're sitting here attacking the man who created the solution. Let's be fair. But Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez doesn't back down. She rises, her voice like a rushing river, both resolute and persuasive. We've talked about Dogecoin, but now let's look at X. She pauses for effect, then continues, each word like an arrow aimed at the heart of the debate. The platform you call the torch of free speech, when it becomes fertile ground for misinformation about elections, vaccines, and public policy, is that still freedom, or just chaos you enable for profit? The room falls silent as AOC displays a series of posts amplifying tweets accused of fueling election fraud conspiracies. She doesn't just read them. She analyzes, connects, and cites their specific impacts on public trust. Mr. Musk, you own this platform. When it erodes the foundations of democracy, will you do anything? Or is that responsibility also deemed unnecessary in a free society? She sits, her gaze fixed on Musk, not to pressure him personally, but as if representing millions wondering, in a world where technology can shape truth, who will be accountable for that truth? Musk leans toward the microphone, his voice low but sharp as a blade. X is an open forum where all opinions, good or bad, are expressed. Free speech isn't about cherry-picking what you find comfortable. If you're worried about misinformation, educate the public. Don't ask me to play thought police. He pauses, his gaze sweeping the room, as if pulling the audience to his side. X reflects the real world, not the one you want to construct. After his statement, he sits, his confident demeanor earning nods from some in the audience, while Democrats exchange looks of dissatisfaction. Crockett rises, her voice like a storm, powerful and unrelenting. You say X is an open forum, but who controls the flow of information? We have evidence that posts unfavorable to certain views are suppressed. Do you dare make X's algorithm public so we can verify its transparency? She holds up a tablet displaying an analysis of how X prioritizes certain content, implying bias. Free speech or free manipulation? After her statement, she sits, her gaze challenging Musk to reveal the truth. Musk responds, his voice calm but charged with strength. X's algorithm is designed to promote engagement, not censorship. If you have evidence of manipulation, present it. I'm ready to face it. But asking me to control every post? That's a path to the authoritarianism you claim to oppose. He concludes, his eyes fixed on Crockett, prompting cheers from one corner of the room. After his statement, he sits, his demeanor like a strategist commanding the board. AOC continues, her voice like a biting wind, carrying righteous anger. You're dodging the issue. X isn't just a forum, it's a weapon. When false election posts are amplified, it doesn't just erode trust, it threatens national security. What's your plan to stop this? Or do you just want to stay on the sidelines? She displays an exposed accused of inciting violence after an election. Is this your freedom? After her statement, she sits, her gaze as if holding Musk accountable. Musk counters, his voice firm, each word like a stone, building a defensive wall. X doesn't create violence. It reflects what's already there. If you want to stop misinformation, start with politicians lying on TV. I'm not the internet's gatekeeper, and I won't become one. He pauses, his gaze defiant, prompting applause from some Republican lawmakers, while AOC clenches her fist, struggling to stay composed. After his statement, he sits, his demeanor unshaken. Crockett doesn't let Musk rest, her voice like a sharp blade. You talk about freedom, but your ex has become a tool for disinformation campaigns, especially during elections. Are you willing to work with Congress to establish regulations to protect the public, or are you only concerned with profits? She cites a report on disinformation campaigns on X, emphasizing their impact on voters. After her statement, she sits, her gaze as if trying to unmask Musk's true intentions. Musk responds, his voice low but commanding. X isn't the problem, it's the solution. It lets people verify information instead of relying on censoring institutions. Regulations? I support transparency, but I won't let Congress turn X into their tool. He concludes, his eyes locked on Crockett, sparking cheers from some in the audience. After his statement, he sits, his demeanor like someone steering the game. The audience leans forward, whispers mingling with the hum of the air conditioning. TV cameras, like silent sentinels, capture every gesture, every glance. At the witness stand, Elon Musk sits with unyielding calm, fingers interlaced, his gaze sweeping the room like a strategist in battle. Across from him, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez adjusts her notes, her demeanor a blend of determination and calculation. Jasmine Crockett, beside her, taps her pen lightly on her tablet, her eyes locked on Musk like a hunter stalking prey. After fiery debates about Doge and X, a new front opens, the ethics of Musk's technological ambitions, particularly Neuralink. AOC rises, her voice rising and falling, resonating with clear intent. Mr. Musk, your projects push boundaries, but at what cost? Neuralink, your brain-computer interface project, raises serious ethical questions. Reports show opaque animal testing, and human trials carry unforeseen risks. How do you justify this when lives, animal and human, are at stake? She presents a document highlighting irregularities in Neuralink's trials, her voice calm but accusatory. Innovation cannot trump ethics. What measures do you have to ensure Neuralink isn't a reckless gamble with humanity's future? After her statement, she sits, her gaze fixed on Musk, awaiting his response. Musk leans toward the microphone, his voice calm but brimming with conviction. Neuralink isn't a gamble, it's a lifeline. We aim to treat neurological disorders, from Parkinson's to paralysis, and unlock human potential. Animal testing follows strict ethical standards, and human trials are conducted with utmost care. Transparency? We publish our protocols. If you care about lives, think of the millions suffering without solutions. Neuralink is their hope. He pauses, letting his words sink in, his gaze resolute. We're not playing God. We're tackling problems the government has ignored. After his statement, he leans back, confident but not arrogant. Crockett rises, her voice like a sharp blade slicing through the air. Hope? Neuralink looks more like a tool to bolster your power. Your trials lack independent oversight, and you dodge accountability when things go wrong. Is this science for humanity, or just a billionaire's ambition to control thought? She holds up a tablet displaying a report on animal deaths in Neuralink trials, emphasizing ethical risks. Do you dare let Congress inspect your labs? After her statement, she sits, her gaze as if piercing through Musk. Musk responds, his voice low but sharp as an arrow. Neuralink serves humanity, not personal ambition. Every trial is overseen by experts, and we're open to inspections by authorized agencies. But if you want to scrutinize, start with government healthcare programs where billions are wasted without saving anyone. He pauses, his eyes fixed on Crockett, as if challenging her to provide concrete evidence. Ethics means acting for the greater good, not attacking to score points. After his statement, he sits, his demeanor like someone steering the debate. AOC continues, her voice like a fierce wind, carrying intensity. You talk about the greater good, but Neuralink raises questions about privacy. When your technology can read or control thoughts, who ensures it won't be abused? Can you commit to protecting users' brain data? She displays an analysis of Neuralink security risks, highlighting threats to human rights. Innovation cannot sacrifice personal freedom. After her statement, she sits, her gaze as if demanding a straight answer from Musk. Musk counters, his voice firm, each word like a brick building a defensive wall. Privacy is central to Neuralink. User data is encrypted to the highest standards, and we have no intention of controlling anyone. On the contrary, Neuralink empowers people, helping them overcome biological limits. If you're worried about abuse, look at how governments monitor citizens. That's the real threat. He concludes, his gaze defiant, prompting applause from some Republican lawmakers, while AOC purses her lips, striving to stay composed. After his statement, he sits, utterly unshaken. Crockett presses on, her voice like a blazing fire. You tie Neuralink to Trump's policies, which favor corporations over people. Is Neuralink a way to cement billionaire power, while ordinary people bear the risks? She cites a report on Neuralink's opaque funding, implying corporate gain. Are you willing to let independent scientists evaluate this project? After her statement, she sits, her gaze as if trying to unmask Musk's true intentions. Musk responds, his voice low but commanding. Neuralink has nothing to do with Trump or any politician. We work for science, not power. Independent scientists have been and are evaluating the project. They're part of the process. If you want transparency, demand the government disclose how it mishandles healthcare spending for the people. He pauses, his eyes fixed on Crockett, prompting cheers from some in the audience. After his statement, he sits, his demeanor like someone holding the upper hand. Moments later, an aide quietly enters, handing Musk a thin stack of documents. He schemes them, a subtle smile playing at the corner of his lips. AOC, noticing the shift, rises, her voice like an arrow aimed straight at the target. Mr. Musk, let's talk about transparency. There are allegations that you've used your influence to conceal shady Starlink deals with foreign governments. Can you clarify these transactions? She presents a report listing Starlink's international contracts, implying conflicts of interest. The American people deserve the truth. After her statement, she sits, her gaze as if pressing Musk to slip. Musk responds, his voice low but authoritative. Starlink operates transparently, serving millions globally. But since you mentioned truth, I have something noteworthy. He holds up the documents he just received, his voice suddenly sharp. The Federal Trade Commission has just released preliminary evidence that Media Matters, a left-leaning organization, illegally coordinated with major advertisers to harm X. They deliberately smeared X, cutting its ad revenue, and now you're echoing their accusations. Is this a coincidence? His words land like a bombshell, shaking the room. After his statement, he sits, his gaze sweeping over AOC and Crockett, challenging them to respond. The room buzzes, whispers spreading like waves. AOC rises immediately, her voice like a fierce wind, both angry and controlled. You're trying to deflect. The FTC has nothing to do with your accountability for X or Starlink. Instead of answering, you throw out baseless accusations. But if you want to play this game, I have a proposal. She displays a draft of a bill targeting Musk's wealth directly. A new bill to increase taxes on tech billionaires like you, ensuring companies like Tesla and Starlink contribute fairly to society. It's time billionaires like you give back to the community. After her statement, she sits, her gaze blazing, as if asserting dominance. Musk counters, his voice calm but sharp as a blade. You call it fairness. I call it punishing success. Your bill would stifle innovation, harming companies creating jobs and solutions for the world. As for the FTC, I'm not deflecting. I'm exposing the truth. Media Matters tried to sabotage X, and your accusations today seem to follow their script. He pauses, his eyes locked on AOC, prompting applause from some Republican lawmakers. After his statement, he sits, his demeanor like someone who just turned the tables. Crockett rises, her voice like a blazing fire. You're dodging accountability. If the FTC is investigating Media Matters, then I want Tesla investigated, too. Reports show your company violated labor rights, forcing workers into unsafe conditions. Do you dare open your factories to an independent audit? She presents a document from former Tesla employees listing allegations about workplace conditions. Don't hide behind fancy words. Workers deserve protection. After her statement, she sits, her gaze as if forcing Musk to confront the issue. Musk responds, his voice low but brimming with strength. Tesla is one of the safest workplaces in the automotive industry. We've improved working conditions based on employee feedback, and I welcome any audit. But if you want to talk about protecting workers, look at how the government wastes tax dollars, hurting the very people you claim to represent. He concludes, his eyes fixed on Crockett, prompting cheers from one corner of the room. After his statement, he sits, his demeanor like an unshaken gladiator. AOC continues, her voice like a river, powerful and unstoppable. But innovation must not bypass ethics. Starlink, Tesla, and now X all serve your interests more than the people's. Our bill will ensure companies like yours can't evade social responsibility. She emphasizes each word, as if carving her message in stone. We're not against innovation. We're against the abuse of power. After her statement, she sits, her gaze as if challenging Musk to overcome this barrier. Musk counters, his voice firm, like an orator at the peak of his craft. Real power lies with those trying to control others' freedom. X gives the public a voice. Tesla creates jobs. And Starlink connects the world. You want higher taxes? That won't help people. It'll only slow the progress they need. He pauses, his gaze sweeping the room, earning applause from some in the audience. Musk, for the first time, speaks proactively, his voice like a resounding drum. Ladies and gentlemen, we've discussed Doge, X, Neuralink, but now let's address a bigger issue, America's energy future. I have a report from Dodge revealing billions in energy subsidies wasted on outdated projects. Meanwhile, many nuclear reactors, clean, efficient, and affordable, are stalled by bureaucracy. He presents a chart contrasting the cost and efficiency of nuclear energy with renewable projects. I challenge Ms. Ocasio-Cortez, compare this solution to your Green New Deal. America needs sustainable energy, not costly dreams. After his statement, he sits, his challenging gaze sweeping over AOC. AOC rises, her voice like a cascading waterfall, both powerful and inspiring. You talk about clean energy, but your solution only serves corporate interests. The Green New Deal isn't a dream. It's a comprehensive plan creating jobs, protecting the environment, and supporting vulnerable communities. Your nuclear reactors, they carry safety risks and only enrich companies like Tesla. Do you dare commit to ensuring this technology won't abandon the poor? She holds up an analysis highlighting nuclear energy risks and the social benefits of the Green New Deal. We fight for a fair future, not a billionaire's future. After her statement, she sits, her gaze blazing, as if asserting her stance. Musk responds, his voice low but sharp as a sword. The Green New Deal costs trillions without guaranteed results. My mini nuclear reactors are small, safe, and successfully tested. They can power cities at low cost without reliance on subsidies. Fairness? That's when everyone has affordable electricity, not when the government forces them to pay taxes for unfeasible plans. He pauses, his eyes locked on AOC, prompting applause from some Republican lawmakers. After his statement, he sits, his demeanor like a pioneer steering the game. Crockett rises, her voice like a storm, carrying righteous anger. You stand behind Trump's policies that favor energy privatization over people. Are your reactors just a way for Tesla to control the energy sector while poor communities are left with sky-high bills? She presents a report highlighting energy access disparities across income groups. You don't care about the people, you only care about profits. After her statement, she sits, her gaze as if trying to unmask Musk's motives. Musk responds, his voice firm, like an orator at the height of his craft. I have no ties to Trump or any politician on this issue. Tesla develops clean energy for the public good, not profit. Many nuclear reactors will lower electricity costs, helping everyone, especially poor communities. If you want fairness, support technology instead of clinging to failed policies. He concludes, his eyes fixed on Crockett, prompting cheers from one corner of the room. After his statement, he sits, his demeanor like someone delivering a decisive blow. AOC continues, her voice like a fierce wind, carrying intensity. So, who bears the risk when your reactors fail? The Green New Deal invests in solar and wind sources that don't cause disasters. Are you ready to take responsibility if your technology fails, or will you let the people bear the consequences? She holds up a study on historical nuclear accidents, emphasizing the safety of renewables. We choose a sustainable future, not a risky one. After her statement, she sits, her gaze as if forcing Musk to face reality. Musk responds, his voice low but commanding. My mini reactors use next-generation technology with near-zero risk. Solar and wind? Great, but not enough for 24/7 demand. If you want sustainability, support practical solutions, not paper dreams. He pauses, his gaze defiant, prompting applause from some Republican lawmakers, while AOC clenches her fist, striving to stay composed. After his statement, he sits, utterly unshaken. Crockett presses on, her voice like a blazing fire. You talk about solutions, but you ignore reality. Trump's energy policies, which you once backed, hurt vulnerable communities. Will you commit to funding clean energy projects in poor areas, or just sell your technology to the rich? She cites a report on environmental impacts in low-income areas. Don't hide your ambitions behind fancy words. After her statement, she sits, her gaze as if trying to unmask Musk's intentions. Musk responds, his voice firm, like a leader outlining a future. Tesla has invested millions in clean energy for poor communities. My reactors will bring affordable electricity to everyone, rich or poor. If you want to help, cut the bureaucracy so we can deploy faster. The chair, with a steady voice, declares the hearing concluded. We thank Mr. Musk and the lawmakers for their contributions today. The committee will review this information to make appropriate recommendations. The gavel sound rings out like a period marking the end, but the room remains alive with whispers and shifting chairs. Musk stands, adjusts his suit, his gaze sweeping over AOC and Crockett one last time before leaving the stand. The audience disperses, some hurriedly sending messages, others passionately debating what they just witnessed. Outside, protesters still gather, holding signs praising or condemning Musk, creating a chaotic tableau of public opinion. AOC and Crockett, without delay, hold a press conference in the Capitol hallway. Under the flash of cameras, AOC speaks, her voice like an unquenchable flame. Today, we asked critical questions about the accountability of tech billionaires like Mr. Musk. From Doge to Neuralink, he cannot escape the consequences of his decisions. We're committed to pushing for deeper investigations into Tesla and Neuralink, ensuring the public's interests come first. She emphasizes plans to advocate for a billionaire tax bill, a direct counterstrike against Musk's empire. After her statement, she hands the microphone to Crockett, her gaze burning with resolve. Crockett takes the floor, her voice like a fierce wind, carrying righteous anger. Mr. Musk may leave this room, but he cannot escape Congress's oversight. We will investigate labor violations at Tesla, the ethical risks of Neuralink, and X's role in spreading misinformation. The American people deserve a future not dominated by billionaires. She concludes with a call for voters to support Democrats in the 2026 midterm elections, a declaration of war against Musk and those like him. After her statement, both lawmakers walk away, leaving a swarm of reporters scrambling to ask questions. Meanwhile, Musk returns to Tesla's headquarters in California, where he convenes an urgent meeting with his leadership team. Under the soft light of a modern office, he stands before a large screen, his voice low but brimming with strength. Today's hearing was an attack, but we stood firm. X will remain the torch of free speech. Neuralink will unlock the future of medicine, and Tesla will lead in clean energy. I won't let politicians stand in our way. He issues directives to increase transparency for Neuralink and accelerate mini-nuclear reactor projects, a direct response to AOC and Crockett. After the meeting, he stands by the window, gazing at the horizon, his eyes as if sketching a future only he can see. Social media erupts like a stormy ocean. Posts flood in with hashtags #Musk vs Congress and #AOC vs Musk, reflecting deep divisions in public opinion. One account writes, "Musk is a hero. He exposed the Democrats' hypocrisy." Another fires back, "AOC and Crockett are protecting us from billionaires like Musk. Keep fighting." A viral post garnering millions of views claims, Musk just challenged the Green New Deal and won big. Meanwhile, AOC supporters launched the hashtag tax the billionaires, rallying for the tax bill. The online frenzy, like a wildfire, spreads rapidly from the US to the globe, amplifying the hearing's impact. In Washington, Democratic lawmakers hold a closed-door meeting, strategizing on how to counter Musk. A leaked source reveals AOC and Crockett are coordinating with allies to expedite the billionaire tax bill while pressing the FTC to expand investigations into X and Tesla. "We can't let Musk turn Congress into his stage," one lawmaker says, reflecting the Democrats' resolve. However, some Republican lawmakers, emboldened by Musk, propose a bill to protect tech companies from political attacks, deepening partisan divides. Musk, in a rare post on X, breaks his silence. Today's hearing showed one thing: those who fear the truth will try to control it. X, Tesla, Neuralink will keep fighting for the future. Thank you to my supporters. The post garners millions of interactions, reinforcing his image as a hero to his followers. Yet, it also sparks fresh criticism from Democrats, with one prominent account replying, "Musk, your future is our past. It's time to be held accountable." The hearing room now stands empty. The echoes of the session linger. Lawmakers return to their offices, preparing for the next battles. AOC and Crockett, with unwavering resolve, know their fight with Musk is just beginning. Musk, from California, looks ahead, his gaze as if crafting a world he believes is inevitable. Under California's vibrant sky, Elon Musk stands before Tesla's headquarters, his gaze distant, fixed on the horizon. A gentle breeze carries the echoes of the recent congressional hearing. Within him, a steadfast flame still burns, promising to continue shaping the future despite attacks from Washington. He faintly smiles, as if envisioning a world where X, Neuralink, and nuclear energy lead humanity. In D.C., AOC and Crockett appear at a press conference. Flashes of cameras flickering. AOC, with resolute voice, declares, "We will not stop overseeing people like Mr. Musk. Justice will prevail." Crockett nods, her eyes ablaze, as if ready for the battles ahead. They leave the stage, leaving a buzzing crowd of reporters with unanswered questions. The story reflects a deeply divided American society where issues like free speech, technological ethics, and economic fairness are fiercely debated, mirroring real-life events in 2025. The clash between Elon Musk, AOC, and Jasmine Crockett in the hearing is not just fictional drama but reflects the tension between powerful individuals and the political system. Like Musk defending X against misinformation accusations or debates about Neuralink's ethical risks. These details evoke current controversies about technology's role in life, from TikTok scrutiny to AI's suspected privacy violations. The FTC's twist regarding media matters and the nuclear energy versus Green New Deal debate mirror mutual distrust among factions, a common reality in American politics where information and ideology are often weaponized. The story's lesson is this: in a polarized society, understanding and honest dialogue are key to overcoming conflict. Instead of personal attacks, like AOC and Crockett targeting Musk or Musk challenging Congress back, each of us should focus on seeking truth and common solutions. Learn to listen, as Musk used Doge data to counter, and ask evidence-based questions, as AOC demanded transparency from Neuralink. In life, when facing disagreement, stay calm, use accurate information, and aim for a greater goal. A united, fair, and progressive community.